Tonight, we end the Coast to Coast Racing League World Finals with 3 features at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 360s, 358s, and late models come to life here at the home of the season finale for the World of Outlaws. It's another edition of the Coast to Coast Racing League. It's the Dirt Alliance, the Coast to Coast Racing League, and Friday Night Lights present the Flatline Racing Bodies World Finals as we benefit Team Red, White, and Blue. We've got a good one around the corner, and we're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, we're in for a treat. 3 races to determine who will be the king of the World Finals.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be even more fun to race in it. But you know, there's one guy that I have in mind that's going to be tough to beat across all 3, but hopefully somebody can prove me wrong and try to knock him down.
I think I know who that one guy is, and I think we're going to talk about him right now. He has been, we got actually 2 guys. One of them has been incredible all week long, especially in his qualifier. The first guy I want to look at, not the king of Monday night at the moment, but Joseph Grandy is off to a hot start in the World Finals, looking to end it right.
Yeah, Grandy, I think he's swept his qualifying night. He's did amazing. He's been really growing as a driver lately, and he's been super smooth and really fast. I've been loving watching him race and everything he does.
Yep, Grandy with his, I believe with his dirt modified for the driver intros, which we'll have in just a moment. Then, of course, the other guy right now, the #1 ranked dirt modified driver in the world. Of course, I'm talking about the #1 ranked coast-to-coast driver in the world. Of course, I'm talking about the salesman and Blake Chapman.
And it's hard to knock off Blake, man. No matter what he jumps in, he's fast as all can be. And he just practices a lot, and that puts a lot into it, and it's just impressive to watch him race.
So let's explain how we have gotten to this point. Drivers have qualified their way in, whether it be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. We have then had the non-qualifiers night, which took place on a Thursday night, and then we have made it to this point here where we are set to go for 3 features tonight. The 360s, which you will see first, is 50 laps. That is followed by our Pro Late models set for 75 laps, and then the Dirt Modifieds set for 100 laps. And again, all proceeds here tonight benefit Team Red, White, Blue. In the military, service members push the limits of their well-being to support the mission. Their selfless service posture has always been necessary because service members of every era knew that they may be called to war. As they move into civilian life, many veterans carry that mission-first mindset with them, neglecting their health in the process. We believe that veterans are America's most resilient citizens, and it's time for more veterans to prioritize their well-being first. Team Red, White, and Blue exists to guide them through that journey with real-life and virtual opportunities focused on building a healthier lifestyle, because a strong focus on mental and physical health is critical to ensuring veterans' best days are ahead. More than 200,000 members are already forging the nation's leading health and wellness community for veterans. Will you join the team? Check them out online at teamrwb.org. Just waiting for one driver here to join us in, and then I think we'll be good to go for our opening ceremonies. But you'll see just about at least 30 drivers with us here this evening altogether. And Brandon, which race are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward. I'm a little biased, but the 360s is one that I'm looking forward to the most. But Pro Late Models is going to be the next one I'm looking at. I've just tested the late model out here in this little practice session, and I'm really getting to like it. So it'll be interesting.
Me personally, I am definitely looking forward to the most the 358 Modifieds. When we had Super Dirt Week back in the spring season, that was an incredible race, and both in the small block. The big block race was fantastic too, but the small block race was very good. So, Brandon, are we set to go?
I think the Roger is ready for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, once again, on behalf of the Coast to Coast Racing League and Friday Night Lights, Thank you for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. Let's meet the following drivers that will be racing in tonight's World Finals. From 09 to New York it's the OnlyFans Coast to Coast Racing League 002. This is Riley Rood. In the number 014 out of Hamilton, Ontario. In the We Let the Dogs Out For You Abandoned Cat Rescue Every Child Matters machine, that's GJ Boydell. From Bristol, Virginia, in the We Let the Dogs Out For You Pet Services, Basketball is Fun, World of Sports Podcast, Salty Dogs Racing Team, number 1, it's Joe Dirt, Joe Canellis. From Kansas City, Missouri, and he says go Chiefs. In the Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding Can-Am Racing Team number 7, it's Bob D. Good. From Niagara Falls, Ontario, or maybe New York. So he's from Niagara Falls at least, in the American Dirt Motorsports number 11. That's the Goose himself. It's Chad Cote. And yes, we can confirm that Cote is out of the Canada side. Behind him, out of Lacona, Iowa, in the Training Wheels Racing number 15, that's the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. From Clarence, Iowa, in the Galen's Gourmet Popcorn, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Flatline Racing Bodies, Crate Sim Racing, number 20, one of the best dirt racers in the Coast to Coast Racing League right now, it's the salesman, Blake Chapman. From Burleson, in the number 21, it's the Dirty South Sim, Twisted Tech, CarQuest Auto Parts in Paris, Texas, number 21, it's the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. From Florida, in the Getting Hooked Guide Services, Highline Cinematography, and M9 Setups, Inferno Motorsports, number 23, it's Chris Schaefer. From Apex, North Carolina, he is in car number 28. It's driven by Jeff Sharp. From Corning, Iowa, in the Dirt Track Bank Got Your 6th Racing Network Extreme Images Hammer Down Racing number 31, it's B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. From Brantford, Ontario, in the Coast to Coast Racing League, 47X Dillon Westbrook Racing, Malcolm Mills Mechanical, Salty Dogs Race Team number 34, it's the captain, Gary Taylor. Next on the grid from Cato, New York, in the Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, GKM Racing, number 61, one of the members of the Moose Clan, it's Jacob Musso. Also from Cato, New York, in the GKM Racing, Main Street Auto, Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, number 63, another member of the Moose Clan. This one is Joseph Musso. Next up from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in the Gambler Motorsports Kite Tree Cool Ray number 72, it's Shaggy Zach Chapman. From Clarence, Iowa, in the Mara Farm Management, Steve's Custom Golf Clubs, Flatline Racing Bodies, Salty Dogs Race Team number 75, it's the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Next up from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, in the ZD Speed and Performance number 76, it's Harold Klump. From New York, in the Super Dirt Car Series Swan Speed Shop number 83, it's Dylan Kinsey. Next up, it's the driver of the number 87. He is out of Pennsylvania in the A&J Custom Creations NTK Auto Parts ride. It's the General, Andy Patton. Next up in car number 161 out of Desert Hot Springs, California. In the Kreitz Oval Trek Parts, Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, Epsilon Sprint Reps, Kreitz Sim Racing Machine. It's the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Next up from Lebanon, Oregon, in the Young Gun Creations, in the Lebanon Creations Lingear Company number 181, it's Jeff Kemper. Pardon me, next on the track from Brantford, Ontario, in the Maurer Farm Management, we let the dogs out for you. Lucy Olson, number 3, Salty Dogs Race Team, number 302, it's JR, John Rayner. Next on the track from Hamilton, Ontario, in the Flatline Racing Bodies, we let the dogs out for you. Salty Dogs Race Team number 325. It's Bill Calder. Next on the Speedway from Brewerton, New York, and the team Red, White, and Blue Malcolm Mills Mill Riding Can-Am Racing Team number 513. It's the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. From Duanesburg, New York, in the Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, Ford 2 Graphics, M9 Performance, Inferno Motorsports, number 518, Joseph Grandy. From Brantford, Ontario, Canada, in the Flatline Racing Extreme E-Speed TV, Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding number 747, it's the Bassman, Roger Craig. From Altoona, Pennsylvania, in the M9 Performance Inferno Motorsports A&J Custom Creations number 814, it's Brad Waite. And the final driver, one of the final drivers that you will see with us this evening in the Maurer Farm Management Salty Dogs Race Team Flatline Racing Bodies number 888, it's Steve Maurer. One of the other drivers you will see, actually, correction, I think that we are all set to go with driver introductions. Brandon Dittmer, we are set for a good one as Jeff.
I think we have a couple more.
Yeah, I think Jeff Kemper and Roger Craig, who we introduced earlier, making their final rounds around the track. There's Kemper in the Young Gun Creations Lingear Company number 181. And then, of course, you got to save the best for last with the Bassman, Roger Craig. So Brandon Dittmer, we are all set to go here for tonight as the drivers have made their laps around the speedway. Your final thoughts here before we go racing.
It's just it'll just be a game of keeping it clean and keeping the nose and tires pointed the right direction. Should be able to get a pretty good finish out of tonight.
Absolutely. Look at all those cars lined up down the front straightaway, Le Mans style, in numerical order. This is a pretty cool sight, I gotta admit. I bet you there is a drone going over the speedway trying to get a wide panorama shot of the drivers here before we go racing tonight.
That'd be really cool to have. Come on, Bob.
All right, Bob the Good will lead them off. And so with that being said, we're going to step aside and go to break. We will get set up to go here for our first feature of the evening, 360 Sprints, beginning in just a moment on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side, and pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters to start putting their well-being first. Team Red, White, and Blue is forging America's leading health and wellness community. Will you join the team?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coast to Coast Racing League warm-ups taking place for the 360 Sprints. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer with you. Brandon, what are you expecting here for the 360s coming on up?
Track actually started out as clean, so I'm expecting a lot of two-lane racing kind of early, maybe more towards the bottom. So, but a little later in the race, that top side really coming in and being a real factor.
Why don't we, before we get going here for the World Finals here tonight, let's take a look at the warm-up speeds here at the moment. And it's currently Blake Chapman. That is the quickest with a 12:98. Donovan Ross second quick at a 13:14. Gary Taylor third, 13:19. Joe Canellis fourth at a 13:23. And Jeff Sharp, Terry Landis goes fifth at a 13:24. Hey, Brandon, why don't we have some fun? Let's scare some people out here. Let's bring some drivers in.
Oh, God.
And let's do it while they are running on track at the moment. Let's talk to Steve Bixler. Let's see what happens with Steve Bixler. Steve Bixler, it's Marty up in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you, Marty. What's up, buddy?
We put him in the wall. That's what happened. How are we feeling coming on in with this 360 tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, Marty, it's going to be a challenge here because they're going to go from a bare track to a track that's going to be slick top to bottom. So you're going to have to make a little wing adjustment. You're going to have to be on top of your game and keep your nose clean.
How tough is it at the same time, transitioning back and forth through different cars? You got to race the 360 first. Then you got to race the late model. Then you got to race the 358.
Well, you're right. They all race a little bit different. You have to adjust your driving style. And I think another thing that's going to come into play here tonight is going to be tires. I think you're going to have to save your tires as best you can because all of these are longer races and they're going to take their toll on tires. So I think not only the driving style, but I think you got to save tires as well.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, Mayor, we wish you the best of luck. Have fun out there tonight.
Thanks, Marty. You have a good time, too.
You too. All right, that is the mayor himself, Steve Bixler. I think he was in the Salty Dogs race chat, so let me move him in there. Oh, he got it. Perfect. Nope, he did not. All right, let's see. Who else can we scare out here? Should we scare Devo?
Nah, let's do it.
All right, let me see if he's in here. Oh, we got him. Devo, Marty and Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
How are we doing?
Oh, I thought for a moment we crashed you for a moment. So, Devo, how you feeling coming on in with this 360?
Well, we're doing all right. I haven't been having to work, so I haven't made many of the races. So we'll start in the back and see what happens.
What happens if you wreck early?
What do you mean? What happens if you wreck early? I think you're done, aren't you? Get your quick repair and.
Will you be going
call
to
it
Dingus?
Oh, we're always a dingus if we can be. But I don't think there's a dingus in Charlotte here. I think you got to go to the Harley Club or whatever it's called.
Okay. So,
How's it going up in the booth? What do we got? You guys must be looking for entertainment if you're coming to the back of the pack here.
yes, we are. So, we'll see what happens with you, all right?
Yeah, here we'll give her hell. That's all I got, buddy.
All righty, Devo. Wishing you the best of luck.
All right, thanks.
It's Donovan Ross on the number 5 as he gets set to go. Let's see here. There's Jacob Musso, currently 6th quick. I want to find somebody that's actually raced side by side with another driver. That's what makes this fun. Ooh, Jack O'Day would be perfect if he's in here. We don't have the Goose, unfortunately. But we do have, I believe we have Brad Waite in the 814. We do. Let's scare Brad Waite. Brad Waite, it's Marty and Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. I got you.
Alrighty, so how are we feeling coming on into tonight?
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I could feel better, but it is what it is. But I'm ready to see. 50 laps is a long way, but just got to be patient, hit your marks. Just don't focus on racing the guy beside you, and do what you can do to get up front, and hopefully be talking to you guys at the end of the night.
Sounds good, man. We wish you the best of luck, all right?
All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Well, we got to step aside here real quick. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I apologize for that immediate commercial break, but had to take care of something real quick. We are back, and I think we're ready to go here, Brandon.
Yep, Rogers is advancing this just now. We did just learn one important piece of information. There is, for the 360s, there is only a 12x incident or cap, so you have to be very careful about contact. The rest will be 20x, but this one did not get switched in time.
All right, well, we are set to get going here. Let's meet the field in your catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the pole position, it's the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and next to him, it's Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 2, Brian Dickens in the 122, and the flying fry, Kevin Fry in the 21. Row number 3, Brad Waite in the 814. Next to him, it's the Moose, Joe Musso in the 63. Row 4, it's Joe Dirt, Joe Cornelis in the 1, and the General, Andy Patton in the 87. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row number 6, Chris Schaefer in the 23, and B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row number 7, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161, and the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row 8, the 513 of the Brood to Beast, Jeff Barker. Next to him, it's the 11 of the Goose, Chad Cote. Row number 9, it's the Captain, Gary Taylor in the 34, and the 181 of Jeff Kemper. Rounding out the top 20, JR, John Rayner in the 302, and the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 11, it's Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72, and Bill Calder in the 325. Row number 12, it's the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, and the 28 of Jeff Sharp. Row 13, the 61 of the Moose, Jake Musso, and the 888 of Steve Maurer. Rounding out the field, Donovan Ross in the 5. No Bill Calder to the grid, so he will take the start points. Brandon, wishing you the best of luck. Have fun out there.
Thank you. I'll try my best. Ooh, Zach.
All right, we are ready to go racing 50 circuits at the dirt track at Charlotte. All roads lead to Charlotte, as they say. All the qualifying races here tonight, here this week I should say, have led us to our feature. Blake Chapman, Joseph Grandy, bring us to green. Showtime, it's underway. Making their way through 3 and 4, Chapman and Grandy are wing to wing at the line. The salesman leads lap number 1. Kevin Fry, Brian Dickens also battle for the 3rd position. The low side has the advantage at the moment with Fry edging out Dickens. But now as he tries to send it, Chapman has a bad 3 and 4. Joseph Grandy leads lap number 2. It was a 14 even to a 14-19 last lap between the top 2. Fry with a bad middle. Dickens corrals it on the top shelf and moves his way up to 3rd. Donovan Ross has crashed. We have no caution. We stay green. Well, we did ask him about wrecking it early. Not what you want to be doing there. Fry losing spots early. How about the General? Andy Patton, the quickest car on the racetrack. A 1387. Started in the 8th spot. He is up to 4th, and he wants a podium spot from Brian Dickens. Blake Chapman now with some company from the 122 for the 2nd spot. Remember the first race we had with a new tire package with the dirt cars at Charlotte? Chapman decided to roll it on the bottom. Well, everyone else was up top. Chapman then switched to the top in the final 10 laps, was able to win the race. Leaders work on Donovan Ross and lap traffic. Andy Patton up 5 spots. Into the 3rd position he goes. Brandon Templeton running in the 6th position. He is up 6 from the drop of the green flag. And Patton's around the outside to take 2nd from Brian Dickens. Can he secure at the line? He can. Biggest mover, though, currently is Brandon Dittmer, up 8 spots in the 15th position, racing for 14th on Joe Canellas. G.J. Boydell's in the 4th position. Where in the world did he come from? I think Kevin Fry may have had issues, or Blake Chapman's just conserving those tires, and I think Kevin Fry knows it too. He's faded all the way back to the 7th position. As Fry and Waite race Hoosier to Hoosier for P7. Oh, Joe Canellis has crashed and we go to caution. Tough break for Tin Can himself. Let's go to the Malcolm Mills replay to show you what happened. Ooh, Dittmer caught the wall, and then Landis hit him. Landis was actually on 2 wheels and found a way to keep it going. And Canellis was in the wall. Oh, I think the hit with Landis, he just lost all steering. And the car had coasted to a stop. Let's ride on board with Joe. There it was out of nowhere, yeah. Just freaked the car out, and yeah, something broke on that ride and just coasted to a stop. Don't know if it hit the ignition or anything like that. So double file restart as we come back to the green flag. Joseph Grandy and Andy Patton make up the front row. Here we go. Grandy holds serve on the drive of the 87. Nearly 3 wide for the second spot, but it's tied up top. Oh, we got 2 in the wall. One of them is Joe Musso. The other one, I believe, it's not Jake Musso. I think that's Kemper. It was. If not, nope. That's actually Chris Schaefer in the 23. But we stay under the green flag at the moment. Meanwhile, it's still Grandy that leads by about 3 car lengths on Andy Patton. As we've completed 13 laps, Brian Dickens tries the slider in 3rd. G.J. Boydell is 4th, and a race for 5th. Kevin Fry wants to attack Blake Chapman. The longer way around, Boydell slides just in front of him, and Kevin Fry takes away the 5th spot. And now he wants to go after the Canadian. Gets up in front of him. Kevin just spleens off the wall, but he keeps it going. It's down to a half a car length. Looks low, possibly goes for the slider. Yes, he does. Sends it deep on G.J. Boydell. Boydell counters it back. He's up to 4th. Does Boydell decide to throw the slider in Fry's face? Just briefly, a small slider, I guess you could say. Fry doesn't attack for a big one. It's the fields in turn 3. Now Fry goes for it. Nice slider. Boydell counters it back as they're still side by side. Boydell throws a slider up on the flying Fry. Boydell makes it work. He takes 4th back. But as they're sliding, Boydell touches. He saves it but loses the front wing. And that's a lot of aero damage. I don't know if the drivers behind him know it. Unless they saw it, it's 3 wide for 5th. Is, though, as Blake Chapman has to back out of it. Look who gets the advantage here. Brandon Templeton nearly goes 2 for 1 down the back. As we've completed 20 laps, Chapman throws the slider. He's clear for 5th. Templeton looked low on Waite for 7th, couldn't get it done. Now he looks low for 6th, nearly hit the Tory tire, but keeps it straight. We nearly had a race for the lead. Grandy's opened up the gap on Andy Patton. As the leaders are on lap traffic, that's Canellis. There was a situation where Patton was underneath 2/10 of a second on Grandy, so he just about got side by side. However, though, he is stuck back in position number 2. Boydell hanging on to it without that front wing. Chapman trying to pull away. Templeton knows that he throws the slide job and takes away 6th. Well, your biggest mover of the race has cracked the top 10 in Brandon Dittmer. He started 23rd. He's running in 10th. And I don't think he realizes that Boydell doesn't have a front wing. So he may realize it if he's got me in his headset. He decides to make a run underneath and take away the 9th spot. Now has Bixler and Waite in front of him. Stick around on board here with the Spider Monkey. Top speed into turn 1, just about 115 miles an hour. And he is hanging on to her for dear life. And Bixler slams the door right in his face. Dittmer thought he had a lane to work all the way next to that wall. But Dittmer decides to go, oh, Gary Taylor! Heavy wreck for the captain. Keeps it on all fours. The second yellow is out. Gary in the top 10 at one time. Definitely the yellow that Andy Patton wants. Try and get back in this race. Here's a look at what happened as they were passing Boydell. Did Taylor just hook the 11? They did. Up there he goes. Boydell gets a piece of it. But luckily that 34 stays on all four wheels. It's right on board here. Right there. See, he caught Boydell too. So GJ may have some more damage on that left front suspension. Look at the front wing damage though on the 34. And Boydell does come in to the work area for a new front wing. And so Boydell did get what he needed repaired. This will come to green this time by. All right, field is doubled up. As we're already past halfway. My goodness. But I don't think the best is yet to come yet, guys. The cream is still rising through the pot. Grandy, Patton, Dickens, Fry, and Chapman. That's the top 10 as we come back to green. Dickens with a slider on Patton and just shuts the door to take away the second spot. And the salesman has moved up to the fourth spot. Fry has broken into the top 5, and he wants Chapman for fourth. Meanwhile, down low is Patton trying to fight back for second. Kevin Fry up in the wall. And on the end, oh, Templeton hard in the wall. Loses the suspension on the 31. The right front is down. We could see our third caution. Catches Devo, and Joe Canellis is up and over. Third caution is out. What a tough break for B-Temp, who had such a good 360 sprint car underneath him. Kevin Fry just got loose off turn 4 after trying to chastain it. And Templeton just has nowhere to go. And Devo was already committed to the high side. I don't think he expected the 31 to be that slow. We've got a lot of onboards to watch here in this wreck. First off, here's Templeton. Yeah, he just kept the wheels straight. At the same time, I think his steering disconnected on him. His wheel may have turned off too. Okay, Diva. Yeah, you see, he had cars underneath him, I believe. demolished that right front. Here's Canellis. He tried as much as he can to get that down low. And up and over he goes. All right, we're doubling them up with under 20 laps to go. Here we come back to the green. And 100 grand hold serve. Patton shuts the door on Dickens for the second position. And Brad White has now made his way up to the fourth position. Templeton has made his way back out on the track, but is a lap down. We got a big wreck meanwhile. Bixler and Fry have gotten together, and we go back to yellow. And that's a tough break for those two. They were running inside the top 10. Such good race cars today. Fry hits Zach Chapman, and that Bixler just got hooked with Fry. All the mayor could see is the belly of Kevin Fry. Here's another look on board. Yeah, Bixler had absolutely nowhere to go, and then this happens. Let's run board with Kevin. And all he can see is the catch fence. All right. Coming to 16 laps to go. Grandy leads, Patton second, Dickens third, Waite fourth, Blake Chapman fifth, Dittmer sixth, Zach Chapman seventh, Joe Musso eighth, Jacob Musso ninth, Terry Landis 10th. Three drivers in the top 10 are up at least 10 spots. Dittmer, Zach Chapman, and Jake Musso as we're back to green. Dickens sends it for second. Patton nearly hits the wall. 3 wide for the fourth position as Rayner has jumped to the pits. Blake Chapman, attention Kmart shoppers, 2-for-1 discount up to the third spot. But maybe the general wants the third spot back. No, he cannot get it. Waite stays in fifth. Here comes Dittmer on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. For fifth from 23rd, he's got it. As we have 15 laps to go in our first race of the night at the World Finals. Zach Chapman darts at a line. Low on Brad White, and Dittmer hits the wall. Zach gives Dittmer the room he needs, and it's 3 wide for sixth. Zach sends it indeed to get away from it, and Dittmer makes contact. Around he goes. No, he saved it. Barker goes around right in front of another car. That, I believe, was... Can't tell who that was. I think that was Gary Taylor. It was. Nope, that may have been Roger Craig, actually, as we're going to yellow. That was a wild sequence of events as the cautions continue to breed cautions here with 13 laps to go. This is what caused the caution, I believe, with Bixler. I mean, Kemper touch. Oh, Kemper! The couple of kick flips. Couple of onboards to watch here for you. Let's begin with the mayor. And now we go to Jeff Barker, who had that wild, rambunctious spin. Oh, I think he hit the grass and just completely freaked the car out. Finally, Jeff Kemper. Just got squeezed up there. And his foot was in the gas, which just caused him to flip as we are back to the green flag. Grandy does hold serve. Blake Chapman now up to second. Remember, he was the low side for the start of the race. He has now made his move up next to the wall where the cushion is and could have a chance at the win, but Dickens wants the 2 spot back. Even laps for Grandy and Chapman. As we approach 10 laps to go at the dirt track at Charlotte. On board with 100 grand. Caution waves, Gary Taylor. We're hearing Bob DeGood and Steve Maurer are also involved. There they are. Now, if you're Blake Chapman, do you go for a slider? I think he does. But I mean, obviously he's got a lot of time to work. But Blake, I think if you're Blake, I think he would just love to run away with that. Oh, now that is strange. Did his throttle stick? Which just sent the car sideways? I don't know. That's very strange. Car just got sideways out from underneath them. Bob DeGood sees Taylor spinning as DeGood checks up. Yeah, same thing happened with Steve Maurer too. No one really had damage from that, except for Bob DeGood, who had a damaged front end. Alrighty, folks. No more double file restart. Single file here on out as we have 9 laps to go. Joseph Grandy has had the dominant car today, but he's yet to meet Blake Chapman. Chapman holds off Dickens for second. So we come to 8 laps to go. So right now it's a 3-car battle for the win here in the 360 Sprints feature. Not the best exit from Grandy allows Chapman to close in. Last time by, the salesman was better by a 10th. He is in striking distance to go for the lead. Here we go. Slide job by the salesman. Off for 4. It's still Grandy. 6 laps to go. So Blake went for it just to test his sights. But remember, we believe he's the faster car right now, and he's got a lot of time to work. 5 fingers up from Barney. 5 laps to go. Even laps last time by. This time by, Grandy better by 600ths. Identical lines as there's 4 laps to go. The salesman all over the tail tank of Grandy until now. Mega set, but the caution flag may come out. Sharp and Cote crash. We stay green. And Slide Job City for the top spot. Grandy with 3 to go has it. Chapman wants it badly, but there's a lap car in front of them. Blake Chapman to the point. Grandy wants the slide job once again, and he's got the lead with 2 sticks in the air. 2 to go. Chapman with a mega send. Maurer right in front of him. Grandy counters. Grandy sends it in deep. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. If Chapman sticks the slider, which he does, Grandy gets 1 last shot in 3 and 4. What happens in turn 3? Grandy tries to send it. Chapman to the wall. Off the corner. Grandy wins. Grandy wins. Oh, baby. What a finish. Joseph Grandy, the winner. Blake Chapman spins and wins. And how about Andy Patton on the podium? Folks, give it up for the 360 sprints here tonight. This is what we normally see on a Monday night basis. Wow, that was phenomenal. What'd you think of that one, everyone in the chat? As Andy Patton, he has lost the top wing. I don't know what happened, but Andy lost the top wing. Coming to the checkers. We'll have to see that for fun. I don't know if something happened between him and Brian Dickens. We'll see. We'll have to see when we talk with them. Look at your results. Your winner, 100 points to Joseph Grandy. Second to Blake Chapman, third Andy Patton, fourth Brian Dickens, fifth Zach Chapman, sixth Brad Waite, seventh Jake Musso, eighth Terry Landis, ninth Brandon Dittmer, 10th GJ Boydell. How about that one, Brandon?
Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. Now, before I leave, I gotta go look at how my tire was because Zach said it was an absolute atrocious mess.
Yeah, I would love to know how that was too, but we're going to talk to our third place finisher first while we were at it in Andy Patton. Andy, first off, how'd you lose the top wing coming to the checkers before we look at it?
Not really sure, man. I saw Blake and Brian get into each other, and I shot for that gap on the outside wall, and I think I caught the wall. I know I flipped across the finish line.
Oh, hang on. We got to see this then. So
Oh, yeah,
Blake
it was
is
pretty
already
special.
spun. Dickens is in front of you. Whoo! Upside down and on the podium. Have you ever, Brandon?
I have never flipped it and still been on the podium, that's for sure.
But
Got a lucky Blake.
yeah, how about the run you had tonight, man? You know, when I've normally seen you in the 360 sprint cars, I've never seen you on the podium. Now you finish in third. You beat some of the best to do it. What has changed underneath that 87?
Oh, it's the new paint, man. Did you see
The
the new paint on my car?
That is a nice new paint, I gotta
Oh
admit.
my God, yeah. Hell yeah, that's Chase Kelly.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah, that's what it was. It was completely the paint, not the driver.
so walk us through this
Nah.
race early on.
Honestly, that car just took off. I went to the top, started 8th, went to the top, and it just started going, man. I mean, I was just kind of pedaling it, being real light on the gas pedal, and just started passing people. I was surprised. All of a sudden, I'm in second place. And then I was just kind of trying to make laps, save the car as much as I could. Drop back to fourth there on that one slider, and then I kind of lost touch with him. I could stay close to him, but I couldn't catch him. At that point, the track was just too far gone for me. And I was just having fun watching them two battle up in the front, man. That was a hell of a race.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to?
My guys at Inferno, Inferno Motorsports. It's an excellent team, a great group of guys. Normally we use, when open sets, we use M9 Setup Shop, and they give some really, really good sets for open. And for you, for putting this on, you do such a great show every time you're on there. You're so excited about everything. I love it. I love to watch it. Roger, C2C.
Well, we'll let you go, man. Great job, great performance, and we'll see you in the late model.
Yeah, I'm going to start last.
We'll
what
see if you
happens.
make a hard charger recovery at it. We'll see.
Yeah, let's just see if I survive it.
All right.
It'll be fun.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Marty.
By the way, your hard charger tonight was Jacob Musso from 25th to 7th. So nice run for him. Second place finisher, Blake Chapman in the 20. Blake, walk us to the final lap. What more did you need on the high side? Was it just to keep off the wall, or what more did you need?
Yeah, I just needed to keep off the wall, but it was going to be so tough because I know I had to hit it just perfectly, get my right rear as close to the wall as possible if I even wanted a chance. Because Randy was really fast. That slider line was just really, really fast in 3 and 4, and felt like I was gaining a little bit of momentum there. I was a little faster than him in those last couple of laps. It was just he's using that line really, really well in 3 and 4, and I'll try just to go up on the wall and hit it coming in, and got into the wall a little bit. I got to apologize to Brian if I got into him there at the very end. Made him lose some spots, but yeah, it was either walling it or winning it.
So on the anniversary this week of the Hail Melon, you pretty much said, "Damn it, I'll go for the Chastain."
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I was hoping that I could just, once I got into that wall, I was just able to just flat out hit that throttle and I'd pull a Chastain, but I guess you can't quite do that in these cars.
So walk us through your strategy. I mean, I shouldn't say walk us through your strategy, since we know what the Chapman strategy is at Charlotte. Start low, final laps, go high, and race for the lead. And it paid off again.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to, be down low as long as possible, which wasn't very long, really. That bottom wasn't very fast all race long, so I kind of had to move up to the middle and tried to be patient with the throttle and avoid as much tire spin as I possibly could, but still maintain a decent amount of speed at the same time. But I think it was about 20 to go. That top just got way too fast. I knew I had to go up there, and I went up there a little bit sooner than I would have liked, but I had to do what I had to do.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, well, first I got to thank everybody that was involved in making this possible. You, Marty, with the broadcast, and all the sponsors. Roger for putting on a great show with this racing league, and I got to thank my parents and grandparents for watching and supporting all the guys out at the Krite Sim Racing team. I got to thank Andy at AJ Custom Creations and Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and of course I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Halloween is coming up, and they got some new Halloween flavors out. So don't forget to check those out. And while you're checking out, use code CART at checkout for 15% off of your order. And hopefully I'll be talking to you later, Marty.
All right, sounds good. Great job tonight, and best of luck in the late model.
Thank you.
Blake Chapman finishing in second. We now go to the winner in the 360 sprints, and that, of course, Joseph Grandy. Joseph, how about it?
Yeah, not too shabby. Started on the pole, just kept my own pace and tried to keep her straight and hope for the best.
How much fun were those final few laps, and did you feel like going into turn 3 you had it over Blake?
Yeah, he was a little better than me at turn 1 and 2. I don't really like banging the boards, really. I'm more of bottom type guy, but last caution came out, I saw he was behind me. I knew I was gonna have to work a little harder and try to be perfect. Wasn't completely perfect, but it was good enough.
I mean, you're one that we haven't seen the sprint cars in a while. What does it mean though to be a guy like Blake Chapman, who we're considering right now to be one of the best?
Not too bad. Just because you guys haven't seen me doesn't mean I haven't been running them, that's for sure. Blake is for sure in the league, definitely one of the best. I wish I raced a little more to compete with them, but I got other priorities. But it was fun, and hopefully these next two work out the same.
Alrighty. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Tone and Repair, all the guys over at Inferno Motorsports, 4-2 Graphics, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate you, Marty, for doing the broadcast, coast to coast, and Mission 22 and all their sponsors.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go. Great job. Best of luck in the late model.
Thanks, Marty.
Joseph Grandy, the winner in the 360 sprint. And we will step aside here and go to break. When we come back, it's late model time from Charlotte. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side, and pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters to start putting their well-being first. Team Red, White, and Blue is forging America's leading health and wellness community. Will you join the team?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are getting set to go for the second feature of the evening. That, of course, is the late models. 75 laps around Charlotte. I'm Marty Scala, joined alongside Brandon Dittmer. All right, Spider Monkeys, second feature coming on up. What are we expecting?
This is going to be all about momentum and top side. It looks like the cushion's coming in kind of nicely, so it's going to get a lot of push off, and the bottom side might work a little later in the race, but I feel for the first 40 laps it's going to be predominantly top side.
Now with the caution flags counting, it seems like here that even if we do get cautions, there may not be a lot of time to make your way up to the
Caution
front.
flag counting?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, we have a special guest. The Bass Man, Roger Craig, has joined us. What's up, Bass Man?
I just noticed there's a little bit of spinning on the broadcast. Just want to make sure it's on my end, not yours. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. I thought I paused syncing. It decided to unpause on me.
So that was quite the race there. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. It sounded like I've always got the broadcast on. It sounded pretty exciting.
Oh, my goodness. That was a heck of a finish. A funny finish when it came to the two bottom guys on the podium, but a fun finish, though, as a whole.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to the boys. You know, we only had it set for 12 incidents. Nobody incidented out. Although the guy sitting in the guest room with you on the broadcast here, he came pretty darn close.
Yeah, he did. He was moving up, and then I'll just say he had issues. So, but yeah, it's good. So, Roger, what are you expecting for this late model feature coming on up?
Well, you know, you can never rule out Templeton in these things, but I think we're shaping up for Blake Chapman, Joseph Grandy showdown here over the 3 races for the overall champion. That's my prediction.
Absolutely. For those wondering as well, we do have a point system for the overall championship. Winner gets 100 points, second 99, third 98, and goes down 1 point at a time. So, but it should be fun. So I think are we waiting for one more guy, or are we good?
I just noticed a couple of guys, looks like they have connection problems. We'll give them a chance, but we need to get this going before they burn the track out because we got 75 laps to go. There won't be much left at the end.
Absolutely. We may want to close the track just for fun here.
That's probably a good idea.
So, alrighty. Well, Roger, have fun tonight. Best of luck, and I'm pretty sure we'll be talking with you after the 358 feature.
Yeah, just a heads up, I won't be running this. I don't run them all year. I ran it to support the event, and somehow ended up qualifying near the front, which that's just a recipe for disaster. So I'm admitting this. So I did my piece that I'm proud of already with the prolates.
I hear you, man. All right, have fun tonight.
Will do. You too, buddy.
That's the Bass Man, Roger Craig. Let's get some other people in here while we wait to go for the feature. Let's see here. Who should we invade? Oh, we've actually finished the warm-up, so we're not going to talk with anybody. We're going right to the feature, 75 laps. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. On the pole position, it's Logan Wentz in the number 118. Next to him, it's Jeff Kemper in the 181. Row number 2, G.J. Boydell in the 014, and Jeff Sharp in car number 28. Row 3, Riley Root in the number 002, and next to him, it's the salesman, Blake Chapman, in car 20. Row 4, the 63 of Joe Musso and the 72 of Shaggy, Zach Chapman. Rounding out the top 10, it's Joseph Grandy, 100 grand in the 518, and next to him it's the Bass Man, Roger Craig, in the 747. Row number 6, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, in the 83, and Jake Musso in the 61. Row 7, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 8, Bob DeGood in the 7, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Rounding out the field, Steve Maurer in the 888, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and the General, Andy Patton in the 87. I gotta tell you a funny story here when it comes to Riley Root's paint scheme, as he is dropped to the back. A couple months ago, I was working a race at Oswego Speedway. It was an asphalt race. We had a super stock race going on, and somebody had an OnlyFans car running, and the number was 01, and actually won a heat race. And I have the one-way in my ear, and it says, OnlyFans. Huh, that's interesting. Figured I'd share that funny story before we go green. Brandon, best of luck.
Thank you, thank you.
Alrighty. So reminder, a 75 lap feature for the late models, and keep in mind, all caution laps will count this evening. Logan Wentz and Jeff Kemper make up the front row. We are ready for our second feature of the evening. The Pro Late Models at Charlotte underway. Wentz with a nice jump on Kemper in third. Boydell edges out Jeff Sharp. Fifth is Blake Chapman. No yaw for the 20 in turn 3, and off of 4, it's the 118 of Wentz that leads the opening lap. Kemper, though, takes a peek downstairs for the top spot. Can't get it to work. Boydell and Sharp, though, they are door-to-door for third position. Sharp up on the cushion as he looks to send it 4 wide briefly in the corner. And Sharp has the 4th spot. Joe Musso with a nice middle groove in the corner on entry, but now he's stuck in the middle. He's the meat in the sandwich. 3 wide. Grandy down low. Chapman up top. And Chapman edges out for the 5th position. Musso a little bit loose. He corrects it and saves it. And now Grandy could make it 3 wide with Boydell in the middle. For a second it was. Chapman making a run. Bob DeGood has crashed. He puts it in the pits. We stay green. Boydell had to jot down the lane, but keeps it going as they're side-by-side for 4th. 3 wide again. Musso in the middle still. And that was really tight, and they hit with Boydell. Way too close for comfort. They may be hooked off of 2. I don't know. Zach Chapman makes some heavy contact with Boydell. Man, Boydell is getting messed with. He is down to 10th. Dittmer up in the wall in the 83. Keeps it going. Race for the 3rd spot. Grandy wants the position on Jeff Sharp. We'll see if he can take it as the field's in turn 1. Nice corner for Grandy next to those Tory tires as he edges out the 28. And now Blake Chapman makes it a 3-car battle for the 3rd position. Way too close to call at the line. I think it was Jeff Sharp for 3rd. GJ Boydell has now crashed. Nope. Never mind. He was blinking up and down. Randy still racing sharp for that third spot. The race for fifth. Blake Chapman against Brandon Templeton and B-Temp, who started 13th. Your hard charger just set the fastest lap of the race of 15:27. That lap of 15:54, but better over Blake Chapman. I think he took away the fifth spot at the start-finish line. But we have a race for the lead. Here comes Kemper. Low on Logan Wentz. A three-car shootout for the top spot. Logan Wentz leads the line. Kemper tries the slide job. This could help out Joseph Grandy. Decides not to go 2 for 1. Now it's a 4-car shootout for the race lead. Count Jeff Sharp. Now it's a 6-car race for the lead, possibly. Holy moly, this is a heck of a start to this one. Look from the aerial shot. You can put 5 cars in that shot. Now your top 6. Kemper in the middle. 3 wide for the top spot. Wentz hangs on for now. Grandy down low. He looks to go 2 for 1. This is what makes the dirt track at Charlotte so much fun. With all the grooves here. At the line this time, it's still Wentz. Templeton makes it a 4-car battle. Folks, you're going to want to see the 604 late models duke it out in the Short Track World Championship this weekend. Dean Reynolds, I just gave you a shout out there as Grandy and Kemper touch. Kemper sideways, he saves it but loses third. Ends the 3-wide battle. Wentz has Grandy cleared, but now Grandy has a peek underneath in the Longhorn for the lead. Takes it, new leader, the 518. As he throws the slider up on Logan Wentz, the 118 counters back. What does B-Temp have to say about it? Is you're on board with him? Is they're still side by side? Nice slider from Grandy. Wentz counters it. This is a great onboard shot. You're watching for the 31. There is lap traffic in front of them. That's Bobby Good. Grandy still leads them at Charlotte. Wentz with a mega slider. Grandy is reading them. Slide job city, just like the final laps of the sprint car feature. Oh, Zach Chapman with a huge set in his teammate. And the 181 spins. Watch out in traffic. The first yellow is out. A 20-lap green flag run. Folks, give it up for the start of this one for the late models. That was fun. Now let's show you what happened. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. What happened to Zach Chapman in the 72? Just too much of a send. I don't think he expected Kemper to be there. And there are definitely going to be a lot of apologies made in the Gambler chat as Kemper had a great run going. He just floored it completely. Obviously unintentional into his teammate. No, Kemper just didn't see that one coming. Just mind his own business and then just, well, pow. All right, we've got them doubled up, ready to come back to green. And I want to make a correction here. The caution laps are counting. So here we go as we're back to the green flag. 20 laps complete. Grandy holds serve. The race is on for the third spot. Here comes Jeff Sharp to take the position over B-Temp. And it could be 3 wide for second. Kevin Fry's upside down. Was sideways, then got T-boned by the 513. And we go back to yellow. Here's a look. Ooh, just got touched by Boydell, and Barker's there with nowhere to go. It's right on board with the Flying Fry. Jeff Barker. All right, so I believe this should be a single file restart as we did not complete a green flag lap. And we are going to go back to double file racing. All righty. Look from the aerial shot from our drone as Grandy and Wentz are ready to bring us back to the green flag. And another great restart for Grandy. Jeff Sharp just moved up to second after Logan Wentz was caught sleeping on the restart. Joe Musso, where did he come from? He's up to the 4th position. Can he take it at the stripe? Has Templeton to deal with? He does. The Moose in the 4th position. As Kevin Fry has brought the 21 back out onto the track. Terry Landis also up there as well. He started from 16th. On board with the Yoo-Hoo ride. Beats him trying to fight back and forth, and they touch. Down the back, Blake Chapman also up there. He thinks it's time to go to the top shelf. Templeton moves up to shut the door. Landis up to 4th. Slide job on Templeton. He gives him the lane. Landis nearly hits the Uke tire. Nice yaw off the corner. He clears it as 5th. Meanwhile, the 518 of Grandy, a 1-second lead on Jeff Sharp. Your top 4 are single file, but it's from 5th on back. That's the Peloton pack. You got Patton and Dittmer also up on the 2nd groove, on the highest groove, up next to the cushion. Chapman just moved up there in 8th. And he's got 7th, edging out Jacob Musso. Hello to Gretchen watching, by the way. Just sent me a message saying that she's watching. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, big wreck. Someone's lost a wheel. I think that was Patton. Dittmer also involved. The caution flag is back out. Show you what happened on the replay, but a huge, big one. So Dittmer and Patton were already up on the wall, and Patton had already lost the loose wheel. Maybe an onboard with the Spider Monkey could show us what happened. So Patton was already up on the wall, and then Patton hit that opening. That's what sent the tire out. That's what sent the wheel loose. Let's go on board with Patton. Right there is where he lost the wheel. Oh, so after that restart, how about some of these other guys up here? Landis in the top 5. Templeton up to 4th. He started 13th. Landis in 5th started 15th. Hello to our buddy Isaac Salas. I forgot to give him a shout out 90 minutes ago, but he is tuned in, excited for a fun race night. Isaac, will we see in the 358 race? Who knows? So 30 laps will be complete. Back to green we go. Another great restart by Grandy. This time it's sharp at the bottom. Could help out Temperton takes second. Riley Rude, believe, is blinking. Haven't seen him come back onto the racetrack yet. Musso races once for 5th, and so the 118 is in danger of losing a top 5 spot. Steve Maurer has crashed. He spun along with Steve Bixler. We're back to yellow on lap 32. Here's a look at what happened. So Dittmer's up in the wall. And Bixler and Barker were sideways. Fry gets him. It was just a stack-up effect. Let's check Bixler's onboard here. So he caught the wall. And there was some contact from the driver next to him. I think that was Jeff Barker. And then he had more contact come. Can't tell who that was from, though. So the mayor brings the 75 back out onto the racetrack. Jason Butterfield watching says it's going to be a good 358 race tonight. We've got 20 people watching in chat. Let's see if we can turn that up to 30. Share the link with your friends. All right, a double file restart on lap 32. Granted the control car. I think this is where you want to be if you're Musso. Templeton, though, able to hold serve, so probably the best restart we've seen of anybody. That restarts in second. Remember, the leaders have lane choice, as you see Landis up to 5th past Logan Wentz. Can he clear him now is the question. Throws the slide job right in his face, and it works. So all the leaders single file for now, but Wentz nearly gets Wentz. He's on the binders. 3 wide as Chapman had to check up. Here comes Shaggy down low. Boydell and Bixler have crashed. We're back to yellow. Cautions breeding cautions early in the late model race. Ooh, hard in the wall off of Kemper. A lot of front ends gone in that accident. Heaviest wreck we've seen tonight without question. Yes, we did see a flip earlier, but all Kevin Fry did was just go up on his noggin. Ouch! A lot of heavy impacts in the back. Let's go to Brandon Dittmer. Absolutely nowhere to go. He even shortcut, but ripped Tory tire. And here is Bob DeGood. Just on the binders, trying to miss it, which he did. There's a look at Zach Chapman in the 8th position. So try this restart once again. Michael Grandy watching, saying Joe's tough tonight. Absolutely is. Michael, thanks for tuning in. So Grandy able to hold serve. Templeton second. Musso tries to slide up on Sharp for third. That's tight. Able to do so just briefly. Wentz nearly rubs door panels with a 28, but Wentz goes back to 4th. Here comes Landis, but another caution. This one's for Steve Maurer and Kevin Fry. Believe we do have an instant limit of 12x. And late models as Fry just gets the back of the 888. Around he goes.
It is 20.
It's 20?
20, yeah.
All right, thank you. And weren't caution laps supposed to count in this or no?
I don't know.
It's not on the website they were supposed to count. I think there was a mistake, so with the change we are going without caution laps here. I'm just thinking the next race coming up with time restraints. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
We got a lot of time. 22-minute race. We've got over an hour left. So, don't worry. We won't be cutting this race off early. I would not be surprised, though, Brandon, if they went to a single file restart here.
That was on a restart lap, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah, so it should be single file. Lining up as if it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you
double.
know what? Actually, now that I think of it, it was an extra lap.
Oh, was it an extra lap? All right. Yeah, I'm really hoping we can get this kind of sorted out.
Absolutely, same here. All right, let's try this once again. 37 laps go up on the board when we come back to the green flag. So we are at the halfway point in this one. Good restart for Grandy, but Templeton on that back bumper. Best we've seen a driver on restarts of the drivers that are in second. Wentz has fallen back. He's around. And we'll get yellow in a single file restart. Jeff Barker has crashed. Jeff Kemper has crashed. Cautions, breeding cautions once again here, Brandon.
I believe Shaggy was a part of that. Who is that?
Wentz and Landis touch, and yes, Zach Chapman is a part of it. Luckily for him, though, he keeps the car straight.
With the help of Blake Chapman, though. Yikes.
Give you a couple onboards here. Let's watch Jeff Barker. Wow. Yep, you did see the driver of the 20 get some rear end damage.
The good news is I do not think he got any right front damage, so that might help him there.
Andy Patton was also involved in the accident too. So it sounds like they will go to a single file restart. Alrighty. No, it's double file. Wow. Okay.
Oh, they go to double file. Interesting.
Grandy Templeton row 1, Musso Sharp row 2, Chapman Landis row 3, Chapman Musso row 4, Kemper and Bixler round out the top 10. Keep in mind, Kemper, no front bumper on that 181 for the rest of this race. Great restart by Grandy. Templeton hangs on to second and clears the 28. But Joe Musso may have something to say about it. Can the Moose take P2 down the back? Don't think he can. Has to slide up in front of Jeff Sharp. In the third spot he is. Here comes Sharp as he tries to counter it back for the podium. He may lose another spot to Zach Chapman here, Brandon.
I wasn't paying attention, sorry.
Sharp may lose a spot to Zach Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman's right there. Chapman's been running these things really good lately, and he's kind of showing it right here kind of late. Getting up on that cushion, which I absolutely love leaning on, but you almost got to find a different way around.
Look how slick, though, this track has gotten. At this point now, tough, really tough to pass, so pretty much here it's all about hanging on for dear life.
Pretty much, and once that wall kind of sucks you in and gets you, I don't know what mechanic iRacing added, but you slow down an absolutely insane amount, and it's impossible to get back going.
Just about 3 wide off turn 4 with Landis, Blake Chapman, and Jake Musso. Meanwhile, Zach Chapman tries to slide up on Joe Musso. They race for third. Landis up at the wall. The 161. He loses 7th and loses 8th. For the leader here, Brandon, Grandy nope, caution flag is back out, and it's for Terry Landis. That's a tough break. Such a good run going early for the 161.
Yeah, I was impressed by Landis, man. He's really coming into his own as a racer around here, and I think he's been putting in a lot of work, and it's been showing. But unfortunate turn of events for him today.
Ooh. You picked a fine time to leave me loose, wheel. And that wheel is still moving.
Oh, no. Restarts have been moved to single file.
There goes the wheel. It's still rolling. Still rolling. Again, why don't we have some fun? Let's have some fun with this wheel. Give me a pit lane shot. Go back a little bit more. Where's Landis? Give me the pit lane 2 shot. Okay, there's the wheel. Let me know when we're back to green, all right?
All right, we'll do.
Oh, did we do something? Nope, there we go. Nope, actually, never mind. Controller will not work at the moment.
Ah, dang.
Oh well, we tried. All right, single file restart here. 44 laps of the boards. This is what you want if you're Brandon Templeton, right?
Yes and no. Now he has this sole jumping point right there as he gets off to a nice lead. And Grandy's been so smooth all night, it's going to be tough to catch him.
Grandy's led the most laps here once again, just like in the sprint car feature. Joe Musso with company from Zach Chapman. That's the race for P3. Landis did make his way back out onto the racetrack. Right now, everyone's up high, wide, and handsome here, Brandon.
Yeah, and I expect people to be leaning on that cushion for the remainder of the race. Maybe going down low to maybe try to find something a little later, but all they're going to find is maybe a slider line, but
Chapman's been peaking low at points, and same with Jeff Sharp here. Here he goes for third. Slide job.
Oh,
no! Jeff Sharp gets a piece of it too. We stay green though. Not what you wanted if you're Zach Chapman.
I can't tell if Zach was really trying to finish that, if he was trying to pull off. He never really came all the way up.
But now he has a lot of ground to make up. Meanwhile, Grandy's got a challenge for the lead. Templeton has pulled up to about a car length. It looks like the 31 better in 1 and 2, but the 518 better in 3 and 4 here, Brandon.
Yeah, he got two really smooth racers here and two very patient racers too. Grandy's not gonna really do anything that's gonna cost him a whole lot of speed, and he's just gonna work what he does. But Brandon Templeton, while patient, is also extremely aggressive at the same time.
Kevin
It's kinda
Fry,
like Kyle Larson mix.
he has spun it in the infield and has called it a night in the late model. Just have a race for 6th breaking out. Jake Musso and Logan Wentz. So Jake started in the 12th position. Made his way up to 6th. Nice run for him. Blake Chapman's still in 5th. He hasn't been able to find anything with this late model tonight. And this is a pretty good ride for him. Well, Grandy has gained some time on Templeton. Gap now a half second on the 31. Jeff Barker, even with the damage right front, racing Zach Chapman. Chapman able to recover. So that's 72. Back in the A spot. You see the rear end damage on that left rear, Brandon, that he got from contact with Kevin Fry. I think you see it as well in the right rear just briefly. But hey, that's just sheet metal damage. That's got nothing to do with the internal components of this race car.
Yeah, that rear end damage. If you're gonna have damage anywhere, that's where you're gonna want it on this car. It's not gonna really mess with your performance at all, and maybe even make you a little bit lighter and help you get through this track a little better. But he's gonna give her everything she's got and drive her into the ground, trying to get back up.
Musso and Sharp did have the best battle on track for just a moment, but it's Blake Chapman and Jake Musso now for P5. You see that low line in 1 and 2. That's just what Chapman wanted. Get some ground on Musso and Wentz. Wentz nearly gets the bumper of the 61. So that got close there, Brandon.
And you really gotta be careful, because one slight contact with these, as we saw with Zach Chapman, it'll send you straight sideways, and then you're just almost along for the ride. And sometimes it won't even take that much, because I nudged, I think it was Patton, and I'm not used to the front end of these cars, so I hit him a little earlier than I thought I would, and it kind of just messed us all up.
Man, Wentz tried to send it low, and he nearly took out the 61 with them. Way too close for comforts. We're coming to 15 to go. Grandy's lead, 1.2 seconds on Brandon Templeton. Caution is out. Jeff Kemper. We talked about him. He had front end issues. Now he's lost the right front wheel.
Now, Marty, you just had to go and say something about Grandy's lead, didn't you?
I did. I had to. Here's a look at what happened to Kemper. Did he catch the wall and lose the right front? He got hooked from behind. I think that was Bixler that hooked him. Let's take a ride on board. That is a mangled up front end. I've never seen a mangled front end like that in the past, Brandon.
And these cars, they just crumple and just fall apart so easily now since the new build. Like, even just tapping the right side on the wall will break your right front and tear your car to shreds. So it's really a toss-up of what you're going to get.
Got to give credit, though, to iRacing for what they have done with the damaged models in dirt racing. I hope the next update we get, I hope we see it on the big block and small block modifieds. I just want to see drivers lose right rear tires, lose shocks, lose suspensions.
I want to see a normal cushion come back. I feel like in the sprint cars, we've just gotten absolutely nothing for cushions.
Here we go back to green. 14 laps remaining. Different lines by the top two. Advantage 518. Sharp low on Joe Musso for third position. Some wild stuff here as Jake Musso nearly hits the Uke tires. Low on Blake for fifth, and the low side seems to be the place to be here now, Brandon.
Yeah, they're down there searching, and just because of how much throttle the guys on the top side are having to use to try and keep up that momentum, it's really helping that bottom side out. And if you can stay down in that tacky, it's just going to propel you even further forward.
Chapman just about went up the racetrack and has the fifth spot.
Chapman's using that nice little slider line. That might be the key here late.
Could be possibly. Musso nearly.
Oh!
They
He saved
save it. They keep it green for now with 10 to go. Joseph Grandy, meanwhile, still leading Templeton by 6 tenths. I did not expect having a winner go 2 for 2. Just a Templeton's up the wall helps out Grandy even more. Just think
on the wall as well.
Just think about this here, Brandon. We could have a chance at the ultimate rare triple crown in the World Finals. And Grandy knows how to race a modified too. Let's keep that in mind.
Absolutely, he does. And you can see Templeton right behind him just sending it at full slide jobs into the corner just to try to get something back.
The Hail Marys are coming out of that 31 as we got 6 laps left here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Here's the race for fourth. Blake now over Jeff. Can he take away? Yellow is out for Steve Maurer, and this could change everything. Andy Patton also sideways, and Maurer's front end is gone. Grandy has to stop to avoid him.
Maurer got loose out of 2, came down, touched Terry Landis, and went head on into the outside wall. Coming in late is also Bob DeGood and Andy Patton getting a little piece of it too.
This is about to be a heavy lick for the 888. And Maurer's been known for some wild rides in the past. Oof. There's DeGood. There's Patton. It's right on board with Bob.
Oh yeah, that hit took
Ouch.
Patton's rear end out of it. He is crap walking down the way, and he is done for the day.
Yep, you can see it. Off the onboard Bob. So single file the rest of the race and will be a 5-lap shootout, Brandon. What do you do here now if you're Templeton?
You almost have to try and time this restart. If you've been, hopefully, maybe he's been paying attention to some tendencies that Grandy has had. Maybe he can get a jump. But otherwise, it's I don't know, because he wasn't really getting anything off that top side as for a run wise. So he might be just maybe getting a chance at a slider and absolutely sending it.
Well, we're coming back to green. 5-lap shootout. Joseph Grandy, Brandon Templeton, or the field. Here we go. So Grandy plays defense on the bottom. Again, the slider line seems to be the place you want to be. Chapman and Jake Musso for 5th. Chapman may want Sharp for the 4th position. 4 laps to go. 3 wide for the spot here, Brandon.
That's getting tight. One wrong move, and they're going to send all three of you up. Oh, contact!
Ooh, they save it. And Blake had to let off the throttle, too. He had a huge run on the 2 for the 4th spot with 3 to go. Templeton and Joe Musso for 2nd, meanwhile.
Oh, contact! And they both save it. Nice.
And Blake nearly takes away 4th.
Sharp and Massa kind of got into it. They both got sideways and allowed Blake to go right by him.
Templeton and Joe Musso race for the 2nd spot. White flag is out. We're on the final lap. Joseph Grandy, the catalytic recovery number 518 Longhorn chassis through 3 and 4. It's the World Finals, and he's got a shot at a Triple Crown. Grandy wins the late models. And they go crazy behind them meanwhile. Jake Musso has spun. Zach Chapman nearly spins it. I think we've got some beef after the checkered flag here, Brandon.
Oh, let's go. I'm going back to watch it. Jacob slid up the track and barely touches Blake and collects Jeff Sharp as well. And oh, what an unfortunate end to a great run Jacob had.
Here's a look. Went from 4th down to 11th. We'll check the standings here in just a moment. But pop up your official results here. Grandy the winner, Templeton 2nd, Joe Musso 3rd, Blake Chapman 4th, Zach Chapman 5th, Logan Wine 6th, Jeff Barker 7th, Jeff Sharp 8th, GJ Boydell 9th, Steve Bixler rounds out the top 10. Here's the rest of the field, 11 through 19. Roger Craig was in the race by mistake. All right, let's see if your top 3 are all in here. And they are. Let's begin with the Moose, Joe Musso. All righty, Joe. A nice run for you in 3rd. Just walk us through it.
Yeah, we got that invert, so I was supposed to start 3rd without the invert, so I got in the back a little bit. So I was just going to try to ride my own race and just seeing what happened because I knew I didn't have anything for the top guys. So I was just going to putt around, and with all those cautions, I just kept on getting better starts each time, and I got into 3rd, and I'm like, all right, well, let's not destroy yourself into the wall. So I babied it, kind of gooned out a little bit, but other than that, I brought it home. So that's all I'm happy about.
Were you able to cool your tires at some points or not really?
Yeah, I try to experiment with the bottom just to give my tires a break from the high side. But towards the end, the bottom was definitely where it was at. But on the high side, there was just so much good dirt up there that you couldn't run it without, trying to lose positions. So just got to stay up there. And when I saw Grandy and all them move to the bottom, I'm like, oh, okay, I can finally relax a little bit and not have a makeout session with the wall. So other than that, it was pretty solid.
A great run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, all my GKM teammates. Saw Jake got turned on the last corner. We could have had a 3-4, but that was pretty bad for him. But you for a great broadcast and Coast to Coast for a great league and doing all these fun events. It's definitely a blast driving these.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Best of luck in the 358s. Nice job.
Thank you.
That's Joe Musso, who finishes in the 3rd spot. Let's go to Brandon Templeton, finishing 2nd. Brandon, man, had it been tough having opportunities to try and get Grandy, but just couldn't find them. Walk us through your race, though.
He hit his marks pretty good. He didn't really make any mistakes, or if he did, they were very minor. So it didn't really give me an opening to jump on him, but I was ready there to pounce. And then when he went to the bottom there on one of those last restarts, started working the bottom, he found it just right when it came in, and I couldn't keep up with him then. The top side was just a little too slick.
It looked like the better lanes were changing all around, like it went from high to low. Did you feel like you noticed that too?
Yeah, definitely. The top got really, really slick and tough to hit without, kind of scraping the wall or scrubbing speed just to stay in the groove and keep your car straight. So that's kind of where, that traction on the bottom was still available, and it finally caught up to the top side, and he found it just in time.
Yeah, well, definitely a great run for you, though. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank, supporting us, supporting the charity, all around, supporting Got Your Six Racing Network and Friday Night Lights. It's been awesome, and a lot of it goes to charity, and it's all for good fun and good support, so that's all cool. Got Your Six Racing Network, Mission 22, Red, White, and Blue. You guys for doing the stream images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. Thanks to everybody for the help.
All righty, well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and congratulations. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Now we go to the winner, Joseph Grandy. 2 for 2 tonight, man. A nice run. Where was your car better than Brandon Templeton tonight?
All around. Yeah, I've been putting a lot of work in these late models recently. They turned into my favorite drive. So, yeah, I was waiting for the run the bottom there. I knew it was going to be the spot to be towards the end of the race. I planned on being down there a lot sooner, but I just held out a little bit and figured I'd try it. It was either going to work really well or be the death of me, and ended up working well.
As a whole, though, as well, walk us through that race. Obviously, I think I shouldn't say that. Actually, let me go with something else. The restarts, able to restart the high side, time them well. Was that really as well a huge factor?
Oh, absolutely. It's much harder for the guy on the inside to see on the outside, and Charlotte carried a little more momentum, so I used that to my advantage. So, yeah, that definitely helped out. Brandon was way better at the restarts than the guys before him. So I was a little worried about him getting a good jump on me, but it all worked out.
Well, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but chance of the Triple Crown in the 358, and you're very good running a modified. How are you feeling?
Not too good. If it was a big block, maybe a little more. These things are sluggish, and you can't really power your way through the field like you can with 360 or Pro Late. Just gotta hope the guys in front of you make a mistake, or you happen to find a faster line.
All righty. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, all the guys over at Inferno Motorsports. Appreciate I'm brain dead right now. Sorry. My girlfriend Olivia. I'm telling you, it's long races. Thank you, Marty, for doing the broadcast, coast to coast, and everything to do.
All righty. Well, we'll let you go. Great job, and we'll hopefully we'll talk to you in the 358s.
Yeah, long race. We'll see.
Absolutely. Joseph Grandy, you're a winner. And checking to see if we have updated points. So we know Grandy's the points leader. He has got 200 points. Checking everybody else, I would assume that Blake would be second in points, and Zach Chapman would be third from the looks of things. So let's step aside and go to break. When we come back, we have got the modifieds. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side, and pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters to start putting their well-being first. Team Red, White, and Blue is forging America's leading health and wellness community. Will you join the team?
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Moments away from our 358 modified 100 lap special attraction. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, we are just about ready to go. What do we think coming on in? Can Joseph Grandy pull off the Triple Crown? It's going to be very tough because you got a lot of good competition in here.
Yeah, and I think he finished first on his qualifying night, so he will start sixth with the invert. It's going to be a tall task and a long road ahead of him, 100 laps. I don't remember it being 100 laps, but it's definitely gonna be a long night, and just patience is gonna be a big key.
Absolutely. 22 drivers set to take the green with us here. As you take a look at all the modifieds that are in the pits getting set to go. Let's see if we can find somebody to talk with here. We're going to go from the bottom. We usually go from the top. Let's see here. Why don't we pull up our man Isaac Salas? What's up, buddy? Got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Alrighty. First off, hope your day went well, but more importantly, how are you feeling coming on in?
Nervous. Excited, but nervous.
Just a heads up, if Grandy wins, he gets a triple crown.
I know. I talked to him between races here, and I said I'm gonna try my damnedest to make this super interesting for him.
Sounds good. Well, we'll let you go. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's Isaac Salas. He starts from 22nd. But we're ready for the feature. Let's meet the field. Here is your Catalytic Recovery starting lineup. On the pole, Bob DeGood in car number 7. He's next to Jeff Sharp in the 28. Row number 2, Dylan Kinsey in the 83. Next to Riley Rood in the 002. Row number 3, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21. And Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 4, Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72. And B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Rounding out the top 10, Blake Chapman, the salesman in the 20 and 100 grand. Joseph Grandy in the 518. 1-6, the Moose. Joe Musso in the 63. Jake Musso in the 61. Row at number 4 is G.J. Boydell in the 014. The Desert Demon. Terry Landis in the 161. Row 8, Jeff Kemper in the 181. And the Brute to Beats, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the field, Harold Klump in the 76. Steve Maurer in the 888. Steve Bixler in the 75. Brandon Dittmer in the 83. The Bulldog, Ryan Beagle in the 84. And Isaac Salas in the 5. Brandon, real quick, who's your pick to win?
Oh, boy. Give me Blake to knock Grandy off.
Give me Salas from last to first.
Ooh.
Alrighty, man.
I love a long shot.
Alrighty, man. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. 100 laps. All caution laps count. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? The final race of the World Finals. It's showtime at Charlotte. Bob DeGood with the lead off of turn number 2. Jeff Sharp, Dylan Kinsey, door panel to door panel for second. Riley Rood up on the second group looking for third. Lap 1, though, is led by Bob DeGood. A lot of the field 2x2. Looks like a Delaware double file restart. As Sharp looks for the edge over Kinsey in 3. Kinsey edges out Sharp for second just by about a door. Logan Wentz, quickest car on track. Now making Isaac Salas the quickest car on track with a 1588, and he is in the 17th position. Oh, look out. We got to stack up Boydell sideways. 4 wide at one point. If you include Boydell below the grass. One keeps it straight, though, as we stay green. Obviously, the race for second is what we're watching closely. Nobody giving up an inch for second. Sharp better by about 600ths last time by over Kinsey. So it's able to get the lead. Kinsey gets the better corner entry, and Sharp better on corner exit. In the center, just about a stalemate. From the rear end of Bob DeGood. Kevin Fry sideways. Here's a run by Sharp for the race lead. He pulls up to the quarter panel. Could it be 3 wide possibly off turn 2? We'll just have to see. Wentz backs off, nearly gets a bumper. Oh, look out, big crash. Chapman and Rude and Fry. No caution, we stay green. That's going to change. Kemper upside down, and same with Rude. Nope, maybe not. Now it goes to yellow. It's about time. So let's get an idea of what happened. First off, here's Zach Chapman. Brian Root touch, and hard in the wall went the Mystery Machine. And here's what happens in the aftermath. 4 wide as well off of 4 again. Kemper and Rude touch, and Landis is up at the wall on 2 wheels. Let's go on board with Kemper. And Riley Rude. Tried everything to save the rear end. He was crab walking it. And 1.5 flips he has. Coming back to the green, Jeff Sharp restarts in second. Bob DeGood selects the top here. Apparently the caution laps are not counting from the looks of it. Jeff Sharp with a better restart than DeGood has the lead off at turn 2. Wentz wants the 2 spot. Rude, I believe, has just made its way off pit road. He has. 3 wide again for just a moment. Wentz has second at the line. Templeton in 4th. And nice run for the 31 up 2 spots at the stripe. Into second he goes. Let's go on board with the 31. Beat Temp. Just ran the quickest lap of the race at a 15:78. And that second groove is paying huge dividends. New leader, it's Brandon Templeton. Our 3rd different leader of the race in 12 laps. Logan Wentz looking to possibly make it our 4th different leader. 2 drivers up at least 10 spots, and we're 10 laps complete. No surprise, it's Isaac Salas and Ryan Beagle. Salas up 12 spots, the Bulldog up 10. Remember Ryan Beagle, the regular at Oshweek Speedway, hard on the wall, Kevin Fry. There was contact between him and Grandy, and Blake Chapman is sideways again. There's contact further back with Jeff Barker. Everybody keeps it straight. Or do they? Blake's got a problem. 3 wide, nearly 4 wide, and Barker in the wall upside down. Second yellow flies. Here's another angle of it. It has not been the day for the Brewerton Beast. We're down. That was a net cold bump there. Yes, there was contact, but the second contact was a lot more than it should have been. Right there. Bam. Barker towed in the pits. Likely will put him a lap down for the rest of this race. Double file restart. 15 laps complete when we come back to green. B-Temp Wentz the front row. Templeton holds serve. Wentz looks to go a groove higher. Here we go. Big jam session. Grandy Fry. And I think that's Dittmer in the Tim Sears throwback. That could send us to a single file restart. Get a look at what happened. Oh, Fryan just turned Grandy. They just hooked. Let's run on board with the Flying Fry. Right there, that's soft tap. Let's go Jeff Barker. And Landis spins in front of Rude, and Barker has to come to a stop to dodge it. So running order will not change, and we'll come back to green immediately. Try this again. Templeton holds serve. Wentz on his bumper, though. And Isaac Salas trying to make moves. He's in the top 5. We haven't even completed a quarter of this race yet. Ryan Beagle could break in the top 5 next lap. 3 wide with Salas in the middle. And Musso nearly puts him in the wall. Check that. That was Kinsey that nearly put him in the wall. And contact between Salas and DeGood. Everybody saves it. Still 3 wide. Beagle making moves top shelf. Maurer has crashed, no caution. The Bulldog up to P6. That was a wild restart, and somehow everybody kept it straight. Nearly 3 wide for third as DeGood's hanging on. That's Jeff Sharp downstairs on him. Beagle up top. Could he thread the needle? He turns Bob DeGood in front of Sharp. Everybody trying to dodge and another car involved. I think that was Kevin Fry upside down. A very fast wreck. You could dodge it in the blink of an eye. Here's a look at what happened. Beagle just hooked DeGood in front of Sharp. Man, oh my, GJ Boydell. That is a Cole Brown moment. That's the guy I want to watch first. I want to watch GJ first, folks. Somebody pull up GJ. And we have to watch this in slow motion. Go half speed. This may be the miss of the season. Oh my, that was a net code. GJ just got lucky. That lucky little son of a gun. Here's Kevin. Got on the back of Landis, who was already slowing up, and Kevin just had ARCA brakes. So GJ restarts outside of row 7. And I want to see this car. How it doesn't have a scratch on it. %20 of the race in the books. Oh, we have big wrecks. Kinsey upside down. No, that's Beagle upside down. Bixler involved. Oh my goodness. What the heck happened? Beagle's gonna be angry at somebody. Be like a bulldog trying to put a vicious bite on a postal worker. I'm sorry, that's crude. That's a little bit crude. Because that's a common controversy. Salas. Got into Beagle and Bixler and it was on. Dang it. Those two are climbing their way up the field. Restarted in 4th. Now, did Salas make contact with them? I want to see. This may put us... Yeah, there was some slight contact. I think from him. Let's go one more, Bixler. You know Beagle's going to be going through here, through the field. With all this time left in the race. With a vengeance. So we double things up here this time with a new second place driver. Dylan Kinsey. Wentz and Salas, row 2. Zach and Blake Chapman, row 3. Jake and Joe Musso, row 4. Kemper, no, this guy next to him doesn't have the same last name. It's Harold Klump in 5th. Templeton holds serve. On the restart, up the track he goes. Kinsey to second. He looks for the lead. We could have our 4th different leader of the race. But Salas is up to the 3rd position. 3 cars battling for the race lead on lap 23. As Salas diamonds the corner. Remember, he's racing a fellow Super Dirt Car Series driver. Hello, Dino, if he's watching in the chat. Stephen Goldner rooting for Ryan Beagle. Jason Butterfield rooting for Isaac Salas. Kevin Fry fans, unfortunately, he spun again. Oh, Salas clips Kinsey. He saves it, luckily. But Salas diamonds the corner, so this helps out Templeton pull away a bit. Salas, slide job. Easy money up to P2. Logan Wentz 4th, and the salesman Blake Chapman in 5th. Now what does the salsa man try out in the 2nd spot? Let's go on board with him. He has options to try. He can search for options. Follows Templeton. If the gap stays constant, may see how the low side works. Top speed into turn 1 about 108 miles an hour. Nice race for 4 between Logan Wentz and Blake Chapman. Chapman decides to keep the car middle groove. Does it work off of turn 2? It doesn't. However, though, Wentz blips the wall. But Salas now all over Templeton for the top spot. It took him 30 laps to be challenging for the race lead. Looking to become the 4th different leader. A slide job by Salas. Oh, at Charlotte, you bet. New leader at slide job, Isaac Salas. From last to first. Should update you on a couple of other drivers up at least 10 spots. Harold Klump started 17th. He's in 7th. Brandon Dittmer was in a wreck earlier. He started 20th. He's up to 9th. Ryan Beagle is in a tough race since the wreck he had. Rebounding up to 16th, so he's up 5 positions. Don't know if he used a quick repair into that last caution. But no signs of a rebound from the Bulldog at the moment. Another good race on the track. It's Musso and Dittmer for 8th. Harold Klump also a part of this challenge. 4 cars nose to tail. Throw them under a blanket. Zach Chapman has crashed in the 72. Caution flag waves on lap 36. Was in the back of the field. Let's see what happened to Shaggy. Caught the wall. Did he hit the opening? He didn't. Beagle throws the slide job on him. They simply touch. Roundy well. Maurer assisted in that too. Catches the wall. Beagle with a slider from hell. Let's watch that onboard again. I have the cameras turned on so we can actually, you know, see who he's racing. Around he went. Luckily, a quick repair brings him back out on the track on the lead lap. All right, double file restart. 36 laps complete. Salas leads Templeton second. And third is Dylan Kinsey back to green. And so Salas holds serve. Kinsey takes second from the 31. Could have been 3 wide there for just a moment. Kinsey actually loses third to Logan Wentz at the line. So the high side's the place to be at the dirt track at Charlotte. Blake Chapman with some company from Kinsey, Klump, and Musso. In case you're keeping track of who would be the overall champion, Blake Chapman is third, Joseph Grandy is 11th. The gap currently coming into this race, 200 to 195, so 5 points separated them. Blake Chapman is ahead of Joseph Grandy by 6 spots. So Blake Chapman currently has the overall lead with 60 laps to go. Randy did say he's better at a big block than a 358 modified. He's trying to take away 10th from Brandon Dittmer. That 518 of 100 grand has been in a couple of wrecks tonight. Underneath with G.J. Boydell. Oh, trouble further back. Jeff Sharp brings the caution out. And I don't think that's the yellow that Grandy wanted. That's what happened simply to the 28. So Sharp brings in the pits for a quick repair and he's back out. That or for a tire change. Try this once again. I can tell you, by the way, the gap was actually 4 points coming in. It seems like the drivers that will be going for this overall championship are Grandy, Blake Chapman, and Zach Chapman. As we're back to green, 43 laps in the books. Gonzalez holds serve. Blake Chapman still stuck low. In fourth, Templeton goes for the lead on Salas. The 5 tried to shut the door. He gives the 31 the lead. Yellow flag flies for Bixler. Around in turn number 3. As B-Temp was trying to make a move. Netco with the good. Then more contact with Zach Chapman. And the night just gets worse for Shaggy. Right on board with them. And Zach just hit the wall under caution. Don't know what happened. Again, look at your drivers. Blake Chapman in 5th. Joseph Grandy in 11th. All right, try this again. Let's see if Templeton can get something on Salas. Could be 3 wide for 30 or Chapman. Thought about showing his nose underneath, decides not to. Three wide with Clump in the middle. Grandy behind him. Still in that 10th spot. And we got one loose. Barker up in the wall. As he saves it, we stay green. Another driver sideways. Chapman now back in 6th. with Grandy in the 9th spot, now down in 10th. They would be tied at the moment. I believe the tiebreaker would be Grandy with 2 wins, obviously. 4 positions behind Chapman, I think would be what the Salesman would have to clinch the title. See if that low side can work. Let's go to the race for 3rd. Meanwhile, Kinsey and Wentz. Wentz just following the 83 car at the moment. You're on board with him. Wentz tries to dive in the corner. Oh, he hooks him! Kinsey, what a save! Stacks up both Musso and Chapman. Here comes Boyd down. Where'd he come from? What a run by the 014 to take all those spots. And he's in 5th, and here comes Blake Chapman. He was all the way down to the basement of Mama's Cave. Down in 6th, and Grandy is now in the 8th spot. And Beagle has recovered after the restart spin. He's in 9th. He's found some moisture down on the bottom as we are past the halfway mark here at Charlotte. Grandy at 8th, Blake Chapman in 5th. Chapman trying to make it up to the podium, which is what he would need, but Grandy inching closer and closer to the Salesman. Contact with Boydell while racing for position. That was tight. Here comes Beagle. Not what Grandy wants to deal with at the moment. Because that would put a tiebreaker situation in. Back to that race for 3rd between Kinsey and Wentz. The caution flag is out, and it's for Harold Klump in the pink 76. Take a look at what happened. Fry touch him. Yes, he did. Hooked him. Spun him around. Ooh, just snipped the safer barrier. Bixler came flying in there and finds a way to dodge a bullet. That was close. Chapman underneath them. You can hear the light contact he makes. All right, a double file restart.
I don't know if you noticed it, but Grandy pulled off.
Oh my! What happened?
I just saw him going to pit lane in tow. I have no idea.
That is gonna Blake Chapman just got a big gift. That could help him out win the overall title. But not so fast. The gap between Blake and Zach coming into tonight was 4 points. Zach needs to beat Blake. Oh boy, I don't know the tiebreaker. Oh, hang on! Musso in the wall hard. Up and over he goes. 1.5 barrel rolls for the 61. Make it 2. Better look for the 61. Boydell. Beagle just barely. Same with you, Brandon. Man. It was a heck of a dodge. Right on board with Jake here. Then we'll ride on board with Brandon. All right, I want to watch Beagle. Or no, that came out. That came at a bad time. So Grandy is out of the race. I want to see. He jumped to the pits. He just pulled in the pits. Joseph, if you're in the chat, Joseph, if you're in the chat, or Michael, if you're still in the chat, text us what's going on. Let us know in the chat what's going on. Because we are baffled. So it's Blake and Zach Chapman for the overall title. So Joseph, at least, though, gets $100 for winning both, because they were each 50, the sprints and the late models. So he took the money and ran. But the world champion gets $100 and a nice trophy from A&J Custom Creations. Could it be Blake or Zach Chapman? It's 3 wide. The salesman wants third. Wentz, then Kinsey, then Chapman at the line. That was 3 through 5. Oh, Zach just got turned by Kevin Fry. Barker involved, Dittmer involved, and Dittmer just wants to run Fry over. And Chapman is not happy. Guys, there's an Arby's nearby. You can settle your beef later. And for Zach, there was a little bit of a nice little love tap. It's right on board with Shaggy. So that all but just gives this title to Blake Chapman in the overall side of things. The salesman may be getting a trophy and can give some popcorn and can put some popcorn next to it. .40 laps to go. We take the restart on the 3:58 feature. Nice restart for Wentz with Salas behind him to second. Oh! Templeton nearly in the wall. He doesn't like that. Gives Wentz a door back. The 118 slides up, gives Templeton the lane. He takes second back. I think, though, Blake Chapman had third of the line. And Templeton loses more spots as he's 3 wide with Kinsey and Chapman. More contact with the 83. And Brandon is probably not happy with the way Wentz raced him. Dittmer is blinking from the looks of it. Zach Chapman has crashed, if not back on the track. This is a wild race happening for third, folks. Kinsey to fourth. Boydell's still back up there in sixth. After a wild moment earlier, Beagle back up there in seventh. Nice recovery for both of them. Do we have 3 wide for third? Nearly did. Beagle looks low. The low side's been the best for the Bulldog tonight. Can't get past Boydell. Now the Salesman low on Kinsey again. Can't take it away there. Beagle switches up to the top shelf. Drive off at 2. He can't. Has some company from Joe Musso for P7. Ooh, Boydell, a bad entry. Beagle has to let off. Helps out Musso, but the 63 gets a little bit sideways. Musso may be able to take 7th, though, at the line. We'll see what happens off of 4. Beagle has it, but to second. Wentz up in the wall. Templeton says thank you very much. Moves to the runner-up spot as we're coming to 30 laps to go. Caution, Beagle has wrecked it. And Terry Landis is also involved. That happened in turn number 3, and the Bulldog is done for the day. It's a tough break for him. That was probably, in my opinion, outside of Salas and Templeton, the best contender here. Got hooked by Musso. Around he went. Landis committed to the bottom, nowhere to go. B-Temp is still in second. Dittmer in the pits. Let's ride on board here with Beagle. So Brandon, it looks like here on the overall side, unless Blake Chapman has a huge issue, I'm pretty sure he has this wrapped up. All right, 30 to go, and we come back to green here in the World Finals. Salas the leader. New partner next to him on the front row, and that's Wentz, and he holds serve for second. Now what does Templeton do to try and get second back? Should have had second at the start-finish line, but then the yellow came out for Beagle and Landis. Peeks underneath. We get the entry he wants. No, he cannot. Remember, he's got Blake Chapman next to him. For the bottom step of the podium. 4 wide. That's ugly. Musso, Bixler, the 63 upside down. And another guy upside down. It's Bixler. Good grief. Here's a look at what happened to Joe. This has been a race of survival, folks. Boydell in the 75, a chain reaction pretty much. And then T-bone from Barker. Second time, Barker has put somebody on their lid. The first one was Kevin Fry. On board with the Desert Demon. Bam. Jeff Barker. There it is, and took out the front nose clip too. Brandon, this really has been a race of survival tonight, man.
It really has. I got caught up in 2 wrecks that happened right in front of me. I had nowhere to go. End of my night. Beagle getting caught up. It's just tough. All top contenders just somehow get involved in something, and it's a really rough race.
Musso has come to a stop. I think he's just trying to merge back on with the field. He's still on the lead lap. Salas able to clear once. Templeton low for second. If he can't get it, Blake Chapman may take the podium. Wentz was able to pull up to Salas's quarter panel for just a split second. And I think, who got second there at the line, Brandon?
Wentz did.
Barely.
By 0.002 of a second.
Yeah. 25 to go. Templeton, though, has a fight in his hands for Chapman. Take third spot away. That's the question we are all wondering. You also have Boydell racing Jeff Sharp for 6th. This has been like the quietest battle we've been watching all day, because you either have a battle up front or a wreck breaks out at back, Brandon.
Yeah, it's... You just gotta pray that this stays green at this point if you're Isaac, but if you're Wentz, you just want that second chance to maybe try and get back at him, because Isaac's making absolutely 0 mistakes.
From last to first, Isaac Salas has had a heck of a drive. One of the best drives I've ever seen on coast to coast. Sharp low on Boydell. Bixler also a part of this race after he's been involved in a couple of yellows. The 8th spot without a front bumper. The thing is, though, 14 drivers currently on the lead lap as things stand. Here's Bixler on Sharp. And I don't even think Sharp has been in a lot more wrecks compared to Bixler. And the Mayor without a front bumper, high, wide, and handsome, moves up to 7th. Not been the day that Steve Bixler has wanted to be a part of, and a lot of wrecks here in all 3 World Final events. Sharp takes it back down low. Salas fights back.
There goes Templeton.
Second spot,
Big
slide
slider.
job, puts Wentz up in the wall. And that could have been payback after the way Templeton was raced by Wentz earlier. I don't know. I don't think it was intentional, though, because that's not the way B-Temp races. But I could... Go ahead.
I'm looking back at it. I'm trying to see if Templeton got up all the way. Trying to clear that slide job. Ooh. It looks like Wentz tried to gas it up and get around him, but no dice.
That's right on board with him. Here's the slider. Yeah, he had the wheel cranked to the left. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it too much to the left. So Templeton in second. Does he have a chance at Isaac Salas? I don't think he does.
He's got to time this restart perfectly.
So I've heard from Michael Grandy as well. Joseph had another commitment, so he could not finish this race.
Dang. That's tough.
Yeah. Could have stolen $200 or 2,000 cents, as Roger would say. So we're back to green. Oh, Kinsey off the bumper of Bixler, stacks the field up, helps out the inside line. Boydell moves up to the 5th position after what happened with Logan Wentz. They're 4 wide briefly off of 4. But no change in the top 3 amongst that restart. But can Kinsey take 3rd? Chapman shuts the door. We're coming to 15 to go here, Brandon.
Yeah, and Blake, he's running that middle lane, trying to find something. I think he has something there, but it's just with the 83 on his tail, it's been tough getting up and going.
Templeton now trying to search for options. But you can see the hands there in turns 3 and 4. He's got a handful to drive with this 31 with how slick this track is.
Yeah, he had gotten into that wall, and that wall does not like to let go, so he was trying to veer it or tear it off of there before he loses too much ground. Luckily, he's still on second, but he might not for long.
Could help out Chapman to go for second. Kinsey a part of this battle after he got sideways. He's been sideways so many times tonight and is still in the 4th position. A consistent night for Kinsey. You got to give it up for him in that top 5.
Yeah, is he even part of our league?
On and off.
I hadn't seen him before, but yeah, he's running really good, and I'm impressed with what I'm seeing.
Off of turn 4 for Salas, a straightaway lead, 1.3 seconds, 10 to go at Charlotte. Only way I believe he'll lose this race is if he runs out of fuel.
And I don't think...
I believe it's fixed setups though.
Yes, it is fixed setups. I believe we have enough fuel to go the entire distance and then some.
Okay, so only way he loses this race is if his controller dies or if his power or internet goes out.
Isaac about as smooth as you can be up there.
Absolutely. Kinsey on Chapman for 3rd. 8 to go. And Blake Chapman, 7.5 laps away from taking the overall championship of the World Finals. Last year, it was Kyle Moonen that took it all. This year, he will hand the crown off to the driver of car number 20. 6 laps remaining. Got another race for 7th. Logan Wentz trying to rebound. I believe just made his way past Jake Musso, or actually Musso wants the spot away. Just like Steve Bixler, no front end on the number 61. Can't clear, and Wentz in the wall.
Oh.
That got tight, and Logan's not happy about it. I think he tried to turn Musso there, and that cost him another spot to Harold Klump.
That definitely looked a little intentional right there. But it didn't didn't even disturb Jacob's car. He just
I'm
kept
surprised. Yeah, surprised it didn't even disturb the 61's car. 3 to go at Charlotte. Sharp and Boydell having a great race for 5th. Trying to end this one outright. Two to go for the driver of the number 5, Isaac Salas. You know, we've been saying both Patrick Spangler and Blake Chapman are the best sprint car drivers in coast to coast today. Isaac Salas is probably the best 350, the best dirt modified driver in coast to coast today. As we're on the final lap, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Design, Venom Racing, number 5. If you ain't first, you're last. He is first. Salas wins the 358 Modified Finals. Templeton second, Blake Chapman third, Dylan Kinsey fourth, GJ Boydell fifth. And with a third place finish, the Salesman, the overall champion of the World Finals. What a night tonight here, Brandon, at Charlotte.
3 great races. You couldn't really ask for more, maybe. You just touched less cautions, but otherwise, it was a great night all around. Good for Isaac for coming from last place. I didn't think he was gonna be able to do that.
Somebody did.
And congrats to Grandy on winning the first 2. Unfortunately for him, having to leave, but sometimes stuff happens.
Yep. So we're showing you the results. 14 drivers finished this race, all on the lead lap. Here's a look at the rest of the field. Alrighty, we're going to talk with... We're going to go first through third this time. Actually, you know what? We're going to go 2, 1, 3. So let me just let Blake know. Blake, real quick, we're going to talk with you last, all right?
All right.
All right, let's go to second place. Now let's begin with B10. Brandon Templeton. Brandon, walk us through your race tonight. I know a lot of yellow flags and a tough race for second with Logan Wentz tonight.
Yeah, it was a really, really long race there. I know at one point, you know, I was all over Logan, couldn't get around him. I thought, well, I'm going to slide him, and I made sure I tried to clear, get it clear up to the wall as soon as I could, so my intentions were known and he could cross me over. But he kind of didn't know, and he tried to squeeze it between me and the wall, I think, and it, then that, you know what happens there. So that was definitely not intentional, and apologize to him. But overall, it was a pretty good race. Salas, when he got up there, and I know he came from the back, just absolutely, he was on another level tonight. He looked like he'd been practicing. I don't think he hardly put a foot wrong other than scraping a wall a few times.
What do you take away from the World Finals here this evening? Another fun event in the books with Coast to Coast.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see a few more guys out, but, we had almost 30 guys in every class, so that's a pretty successful deal, and it's all going to a good cause, so really happy about that. And, hopefully most of the guys, pretty much all the guys will donate their stuff back, so it's all going to help out, so it's a good deal.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank, supporting us, supporting the team and me and everything. It's been a pretty good deal. It's worked out, and we really appreciate his help. Got Your Six Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing Team, Extreme Images, Mealy's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. Got to thank the wife and kids for, taking care of stuff while I'm doing this for a full night. So thanks to them.
Great job tonight, and hopefully I'll be talking to you next Monday.
Thank you.
Brandon Templeton, runner-up finish here tonight. Going to go to victory lane to talk with your winner, Isaac Salas. Isaac, I'm going to brag here real quick. I picked you to win.
Well, good.
I'm not kidding.
I'm glad you did.
What a drive. What a drive.
yeah, it was wow.
Did you think you would do it?
um, you know what's funny is actually about like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock this morning, um, me and Logan Gill were talking about the time he came from the back, and I was like, you know what? That's what we're shooting for. We're not shooting for a top 10. We're not shooting for a top 5. We're gonna Logan Gill this, and yeah, that's what we kind of tried to do.
Absolutely. I mean, what can you say about this race tonight? In my opinion, with the way you ran, in my opinion, you're the best dirt modified driver in coast to coast right now.
Uh, that's a huge compliment. So thank you a lot, Marty. It means a lot. Yeah, There's been a lot of seat time in the mods. So I mean, I think hopefully I could be pretty decent in these by now.
As a whole, another World Finals event in the books. What do you take away from it?
It never ceases to amaze me on our charity events. Barely got to be a part of this one. Like I was telling Joseph Grandy earlier, I got home for about last 15 laps of the 360s, watched it on my floor while eating, and then just got to sit around and watch, the late models, and just it's fun. It's fun to just be a fan for at least a little bit, and be a racer for at least one of them.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to on the car?
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Venom Racing, everything that they do. For me, for a bunch of stuff, there's a lot of stuff that goes unnoticed in that team, so it's always fun to get wins for them. Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, got to talk to him today. He's actually down in Charlotte for the actual World Finals. And then Magnum Race Designs, I swear to you by this koozie, RSN Trackside koozie. I don't think I've lost a race since I started using it. Mission 22, everything they do for our veterans. Gramps, Top Notch Trucking. Everybody here in Coast to Coast, all the admins, everybody in the background. Thank you guys for the broadcast. It was kind of weird to watch a Monday night broadcast but not be a part of a Monday night broadcast. And then yeah, I mean, thanks to my friends, thanks to my family. I know a bunch of them are watching, so big hi to you guys. Thanks to my girlfriend. And then yeah, man, I think that covers everything.
Awesome, man. Well, great job. Congrats on the win, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty.
Isaac Salas, your winner in the 358. But now we go to the overall champion. I think without question, without debate, this is the overall champion. He finished third tonight, Blake Chapman. Blake, an extra $100 for you and a trophy. I mean, I know you didn't get a win, but this one's got to feel good with how consistent you ran tonight.
Yeah, consistency is key. I'll definitely take the $100 and the trophy over just a win any day. So yeah, I was pretty confident coming into this World Finals. I had won the last late model and small block race I'd ran, so I had a pretty good feel for those cars. Better feel than what I felt like I've had before in the past. So it was just I wasn't a huge fan of the track, especially for the 358s, but I felt really comfortable tonight in the small blocks. So I felt like that bottom was there for about 10 laps. I was hoping it'd stick around for the end, but I had to move up, find a different line that was comfortable, and I was able to keep pace with Brandon there. And of course, nobody was able to keep pace with Isaac. I'm pretty sure he was cheating tonight. He was doping the tires a little bit, but that's either here or there. But yeah, I just really happy to come away with the overall championship.
How do you now move forward now with the rest of the season? Obviously contend for a lot of championships, especially you're trying to get that Monday Night Madness championship.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the big one that everybody's going for. But yeah, consistency is key in any division that you're running in this league. It sometimes comes down to instant points, like we saw last season. So just got to be consistent and take what I can get.
Go ahead, give those shout outs once again.
Yeah, again, I got to just thank everybody involved in this charity event, all the sponsors and everybody for coming out and racing this. And I got to thank my parents and grandparents for watching and supporting all the guys down at the Crite Sim Racing team. I got to thank Terry for spotting for me tonight for the last 20 laps. I got to thank Andy at AJ Custom Creations and Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps. Got to thank Flatline Racing Bodies, Steve's Custom Golf Clubs, and of course, Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some great South Dakota homegrown popcorn, and don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. And I gotta thank you for putting this on tonight, Marty.
All righty. Well, we'll let you go. We'll talk to you next week. Congratulations on the overall championship.
Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman gets it done here at Charlotte, and what a night here in the coast! What a night here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Brandon, first off with you, final thoughts.
It's another good charity event put on by Roger and the Coast to Coast Racing League. We wish we had a little bit more turnout, but it was fun with what we had, and can't wait to do the next one.
Definitely was a fun one. Roger, if you got a copy, man, another charity wrapped up.
Another charity wrapped up. Yeah, some phenomenal racing in some of those races. It was just crazy. We've had a great week, and can't wait for the next one. And the winner tonight, the real winner, is Team Red, White, and Blue.
Absolutely, congratulations to them. Looking forward definitely to working with them down the road. So, with that being said, that will wrap things up for us here tonight. Let's give you your schedule for the rest of the week.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yeah, help yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen the final results?
I have not. No.
Okay. I messaged them to you.
I just got them.
The overall champion, we already know, Blake Chapman. But Joseph Grandy finished second overall, even though he disconnected. I sent a message out trying to find out what happened. He pulled in the pits, so hopefully everything's okay at home, and it wasn't an emergency of any kind.
Yeah, we heard other things were scheduled, so.
Okay, and then Brandon Templeton, it was 294 for Blake, 281 for Joseph, and then 280 for Brandon Templeton. GG Boydell 279. The Musos, of course, tied. The Twins are tied for 278. And Zach Chapman with 274. Jeff Barker, who's a big part of this Team Red, White, and Blue, 268. And that's two Hall of Famers, Jeff Barker and Terry Landis with 268 as well. So congrats to all those guys. Also, a shout out to one of the old salty dogs. Steven Bixler was pretty stout tonight. He got sent to the back and kept working his way up to the front, and just drove a great race. So kudos to one of my teammates.
Awesome. Well, Roger, congrats on another charity event, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, so bring on. Now we're into the second half of the season, and all the championship hunts are on in that. So it just goes from one thing to another. But great job again tonight, you and Brandon, and some great racing on the parts of all the boys. And thanks to everybody who supported it. And see you next week.
We definitely appreciate it. Yeah, man. We'll see you next week. So. Alrighty, here's the schedule for what's coming up here for the rest of the weekend next Monday. Tomorrow night, we have Trucks at Las Vegas. That's the broadcast schedule for the rest of the week. Trucks at Las Vegas, that begins at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, Hometown Heroes at Kern County for the Sprint Cars in the Xfinity Series at Las Vegas, broadcast at 7 p.m. Thursday night, for Thursday Night Thunder, we have got small blocks and big blocks at Lanier and Next Gen at Las Vegas. That begins at 7 p.m. The Sunday Night Showdown, we have the Midgets at Lima Land. Same with the Pro Late Models. That begins at 7:30. Finally, next week for Monday Night Madness, we go to a place called Kokomo, so you don't want to miss that. Broadcast at 7:45 p.m. on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. So that'll do it for us here on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the fine drivers and sponsors. Same with on behalf of Friday Night Lights and the Dirt Alliance. Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, all the fine group of admins. On behalf of my broadcast partner here tonight, Brandon Dittmer, I'm Murray Scala, sign off. Congrats to your winners, Joseph Grandy and Isaac Salas. So long.